This is Star Students Essay on the website www.starstudentessay.co.za.
Vultures by Chinua Achebe. In the greyness and drizzle of one despondent dawn unstirred by harbingers of sunbreak, a vulture, perching high on broken bone of a dead tree, nestled close to his mate, his smooth bashed-in head, a pebble on a stem rooted in a dump of gross feathers, inclined affectionately to hers. Yesterday, they picked the eyes of a swollen corpse in a waterlogged trench and ate the things in its bowl. Full gorged, they chose their roost, keeping the hollowed remnant in easy range of cold, telescopic eyes. Strange, indeed, how love in other ways so particular will pick a corner in that charnel house, tide it, and coil up there, perhaps even fall asleep, her face turned to the wall. Thus, the commandant at Belsen camp, going home for the day with fumes of human roast clinging rebelliously to his hairy nostrils, will stop at the wayside sweet shop and pick up a chocolate for his tender offspring, waiting at home for daddy's return. Praise bounteous, Providence if you will, that grants even an ogre a tiny glowworm tenderness encapsulated in icy caverns of a cruel heart, or else despair. For in that very germ of that kindred love is lodged the perpetuity of evil. Now, the poem Vultures, boys and girls, I will teach it in sections. So, if you have the poem printed in front of you, this will be section 1. It starts from the words in the greyness and drizzle, and then it ends off with the words cold telescopic eyes, and clearly you can see an ellipsis there. We move on, and this will be section 2, where we start with the word strange and we end off with the word wall, and then this will be section 3, thus the commandant, all the way to waiting at home for daddy's return. That will be section 3. Clearly you can see an ellipsis there and another ellipsis there. And finally, boys and girls, this will be section 4, and we start with the words praise bounteous and we end off with the word evil. So with that kept in mind, we are going to basically study it in sections, and then we look at the poem as a whole a little bit later on. But for now, boys and girls, we are going to begin the line by line analysis with section 1. Please make notes as I go along. Here's lines 1 to 4. In the greyness and drizzle of one despondent dawn, unstirred by harbingers of sunbreak. What does despondent mean? Despondent is a feeling or showing hopelessness, discouragement, or dejection. And then unstirred means unmoved, undisturbed, or unaffected. And then harbingers, a messenger or a person who heralds the coming of something, a person who brings something. So with these words, despondent, unstirred, and harbingers, let's understand what's going on here. In the greyness and drizzle of one despondent dawn, the dawn is the morning, and then greyness and drizzle of one despondent dawn, one hopeless dawn, a dawn that shows hopelessness, discouragement, dejection. It's basically a deeply shaded and gloomy or depressing pre-dawn atmosphere. So the sun hasn't come up yet. Think about the moments just before sunrise, and this is the pre-dawn moment. and it is completely hopeless or despondent. And this dawn is sort of unaffected, it's unmoved, it's undisturbed, it's unstirred by any indication that the sun might rise soon. And unstirred by harbingers of sunbreak, the poem opens on this very dismal, depressing, dull, gloomy, or hopeless note. And a harbinger is usually someone that brings news of an early warning of something, that something bad is about to happen. And if you think about a messenger or a person who would herald the coming of something, there's a common phrase that says harbingers of doom, someone that will bring the news of doom. In this case, it's quite unusual because we have harbingers of sunbreak. So the morning is in the grayness and drizzle. Now, because of the color, because of the drizzle, this deeply shaded and gloomy, depressing sort of morning. And this morning is sort of despondent. It is hopeless. It's a morning that shows discouragement and dejection. And it's unstirred. It's unmoved. It's undisturbed. It's unaffected by harbingers of sunbreak. Anything that would show that sunbreak would come soon. What would indicate sunbreak? Probably on a normal morning, perhaps a rooster. That would indicate that, the sun is about to rise. Perhaps, birds chirping, etc. If you put your ear out the window, cars, etc. So the day is about to begin. However, in this case, it is unstirred by any indication that the sun is about to rise. So a harbinger usually brings news that is bad. But in this case, we have harbingers of sunbreak. And sunbreak, the sun rising, is a positive image. So clearly, there's some type of a disconnect here between sort of good and bad, because sunbreak will be good, and harbingers of doom, usually you would have this very sort of bad, evil, ominous sort of tone or mood when you would say harbingers of doom. But in this case, Chinua Achebe says harbingers of sunbreak. We move on to lines 4 to 6.